What's up, guys? Welcome back to the happiest hour on earth. We are pumped because Halloween is next week. We're so excited. We have our costumes in the works. We have some plans that are coming up we're really excited about. But if you didn't hear our episode last week, it was really fun. We did kind of an armchair Imagineering episode about the Villains Land that is kind of in the works over in Magic Kingdom that we heard about at D23 this year. Really, really fun episode. Go check it out if you haven't yet. But for tonight, we have kind of like a hodgepodge of topics. It's just kind of a fun, random Halloween discussion, and it's not even entirely like Disney centered, but we just thought, hey, it's Halloween. We're just gonna kind of go for it, just have fun and chat about some fun stuff. So we're gonna be talking about our top 10 favorite Halloween movies. We're gonna be talking about some of our favorite Halloween costumes of ours over the last 6 years since we got married. And we're gonna do a fun little Halloween this or that game at the end to wrap things up. So let's go ahead and get started.
So we're really excited to just talk about all of our Halloween favorites. And it's just kind of a way that you guys can get an insight into who we are, you know, our likes when it comes to movies, our interests when it comes to like our Halloween costumes, because obviously we go for like our favorite, TV shows, whether that's their TV shows or just pop culture, whether that's Disney or not. So you guys get to hear a little bit more about us through that. But before we start, we made a drink. Now, this year's Halloween offerings at Disneyland, and I think Disney World, there
kind of
wasn't that many.
Nothing that really like screamed Halloween. They were just kind of like new drinks and new snacks.
Yeah.
That are really good, but not like really themey.
Yeah, nothing really like, themey, right? Like there was a lot that was like, oh, why is this Halloween? Probably just because of the color. So we actually didn't make a Halloween cocktail tonight. This one is red, which looks spooky. So I think that counts.
It looks like blood, maybe.
I like it, yeah.
And I realized as we made it that I matched it like completely.
Like
so that's
perfectly.
Cool.
Yeah,
like
it's pretty
exact
amazing.
Same color.
So this is the Vodka Pomegranate Limeade that you could actually get in Disneyland at Cars Land at Cozy Cone number 4, I believe. And so we actually had a listener hit us up and say, oh my gosh, like one of her favorite things to get when it comes to drinks is this Vodka Pomegranate Limeade. So this last trip we got to order it and we loved it so much that we're like, we gotta make it at home. And so
it was really good. I had been wanting to try it for a while because I just like kind of a simple, refreshing cocktail like this every so often. Yeah. And we got one of these and then we got just one regular vodka limeade. And that was also good. But this one to me was just more like the pomegranate just added like a tartness to it that was just so good. It was just super refreshing.
Yeah. And we saw a lot of people in this area with this drink. So I guess it is pretty popular.
I think it is.
Which is awesome because I don't know, to just like have a fun drink in Cars Land, like one of the best lands at Disneyland. Yeah. Super cool. Are you excited to try this? I'm ready
I am
to
excited.
go.
Yeah, let's give it a try.
Let's try. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, tastes pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. Like you can't really mess it up. It's really literally just vodka, pomegranate juice, and limeade. So
that is so good.
I mean, I guess the ratios could be off if you don't do it right, but I think this is pretty accurate. And of course, we will have a reel for it on Instagram showing you guys how we made it. The only thing is in Cars Land at the Cozy Cone, their version, you definitely don't taste the alcohol. I mean, I think that's kind of the case with a lot of places you can get cocktails from. Yeah, it's a little bit light on the alcohol. So I don't recall tasting much vodka in there.
And I don't
even though it was
taste
really
much
good.
in here either.
I don't taste a lot, but we
like a little bit more.
We even in these did add just slightly more, just because we felt like it was so minimal there. We're like, maybe we'll just add a little bit extra, but It's still delicious.
I think it's so good, like the pomegranate and limeade together, that it would just mask probably any alcohol because it's just so delicious.
Those flavors are very strong, so it does just kind of hide the vodka flavor regardless.
That's delicious though.
It is so good. It is just a really, really refreshing drink. You guys should try it at the Cozy Cone.
Yeah.
Or try it at home.
Yeah, try it out.
It's really easy.
For sure. Definitely. So, should we jump in? So, we have some movies here. First off, a couple things you should know about us. We are really bad with scary movies.
We don't do scary movies.
There's certain scary movies that we've seen. Like, okay. I feel like A Quiet Place. While I was looking at, I like monster stuff.
He likes monster movies.
Stuff.
I'm like still not super about it, but I can do it. I'll just be like this a lot of the time, covering my eyes.
Well, like when I was looking through a Halloween list, I don't know why they had A Quiet Place on there, but I was like, oh, I guess A Quiet Place was technically under the category of horror, but it doesn't seem like a horror movie to me. That's just a monster
thriller
movie. Yeah, thriller, right?
Yeah.
Anything that comes to like exorcisms or murderers, although we do love the show, we do murder mystery type stuff, but
and like Stranger Things, like that, we love that kind of thing.
Although that last season, oh my gosh,
very scary. I almost
that was
it.
topping off at our
oh yeah, that's about
the first
the
two
level
episodes. I was like, oh my gosh,
yeah. I almost didn't do it, and then I finally much later watched the rest of the season because
I was her guide through Stranger Things season 4.
First.
I watched it first, except for the last 2 episodes. We did watch those anew together.
I caught up to you.
But yeah, the first couple episodes, whenever there's something really scary, I was.
He told me when to hide.
Yeah. Fast forwarding through that stuff.
Yeah,
but I feel like
it's still fun Halloween movies. We definitely like the classic Halloween movies. I feel not the scary ones.
Yeah, exactly. So should we end? So this list is not really in order of, not even really in order of favorites, kind of in order of our favorites, but it's more what we choose. Which movies are we going to choose during Halloween? Also, there might be a movie that is higher up on this list. I mean, as in, lower, I guess, more near the 10s, that are, better movies and more of our favorites, but they don't seem as Halloween to us. So
we watch them around that time, but it's not necessarily
it's Halloween we have to watch this.
It's not exactly that theme, but still a fun watch around that time of year. So we're gonna start at number 10 and work our way to number 1, and it's a rough top 10. The last 3 are definitely the top favorites, but beyond that, it's kind of just we just kind of threw them in there. So we're just gonna kind of name some off. So we started at number 10 with Haunted Mansion, which is the Eddie Murphy version, because so far the new one is not out yet. I think that's going to be 2023. We just looked that up. So that's going to be really fun and exciting. I'm excited to see the new, improved, probably, version of Haunted Mansion. But I think the Haunted Mansion movie is fun. It's definitely corny as heck, and it's just really silly, but I think it's a fun watch. We actually haven't watched it yet this year. I think maybe we didn't even watch it last year.
No, I think we did last year.
Did we last
year? This year we haven't yet. We have a couple days.
Yeah, we have a few days, and we need to catch up on quite a few. We've only watched a couple of our favorites this year. Yeah. Don't know why. I think we've just been busy.
Very busy couple of weeks.
I'm going
on DJing a wedding this upcoming weekend. So my mind's been kind of there, not really on Halloween things. So I've been prepping for that. And then
just a lot happening. So Haunted Mansion had to be on the list because I just think that it's kind of a classic Halloween movie.
Yeah.
It's just something you have to kind of watch. And it's funny. I think it's just a funny movie. And I am excited to watch it again. I think it still gets me in the Halloween spirit for sure.
Yeah, and the thing about the Haunted Mansion movie is I think they were trying to blend the gap between comedy and, quote unquote scary or spooky. Just like the ride, they had the two Imagineers that were, one of them had a very funny vision for Haunted Mansion. One of them had a very spooky vision for Haunted Mansion. And so that's why you get the beginning of the ride more spooky. And then once you get into the graveyard, it's a little more funny. It was two competing Imagineers with different thoughts on how the ride should be. And it actually blended so well.
Perfectly.
And I don't think that usually happens. So when you try to translate that into a movie, it could seem a little bit jumbled like you do with Haunted Mansion. But I hope that, the second one, they're able to kind of just dig deeper into why it wasn't like the next Pirates of the Caribbean or something, right? Like Pirates of the Caribbean everyone loves. But maybe they can restart it, try to get that line a little bit better between spooky and comedy, and maybe not as goofy comedy. I don't know what it needs to be done, but I'm really excited for the reboot of that because I think it has the potential to be another kind of Pirates if they do it right. So
I'm excited to see what they do with it for sure. I think it's gonna be good.
So really, really cool. Definitely on our list. It hasn't been one that we've like watched every single Halloween, but still a fun one. So we added it to our number 10. Number 9. This is one that we have watched more than Haunted Mansion, and we just watched it this year too.
Like
I feel
a few nights ago.
a few nights ago. And we love some things about this movie. But other times we were just really kind of cringed out.
I was cringed out a
We were
lot.
cringed
Last time we watched it, I was like, oh man.
Halloween Town. So we didn't grow up with this movie, and I think if we did, we would have a better appreciation for it. But we started watching this as like adults, and I feel
cheesy.
Like there's a lot of things that make me feel very Halloween-esque, but then sometimes I'm just like, oh man. One thing that's so funny, and I feel like you pointed out almost every time, is and one of the beginning scenes, and I think they do it later too.
There's
all
some
scenes where they zoom in.
Like you can't even see a person's whole face.
Yeah,
it's like
face.
this close up.
It's like right under their bottom lip and then their forehead. You don't see the full.
Like, why would anyone ever
zoom
in that far on someone's face?
And it's just like, ooh, this is a little lower budget. And then when you get to the villain and stuff like that, and it's a little
all the
rough.
Characters in Halloween Town, it just looks like they're all just wearing like faces over their faces. Like it just looks so fake, but which is kind of supposed to, but it's just kind of, I don't know, it's fun. Like I like the idea of the story and stuff. Yeah, but it's not like, I don't know. I definitely couldn't call it a favorite. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, we'll put it on and just kind of like have it on in the background,
Yeah. And there's certain scenes that really kind of get me into that Halloween mood, and are, really fun and stuff like that. But yeah, as a whole, there's certain scenes where I'm like, oof, that's a little rough.
A little cringe. Very cheesy.
But it's still on our list.
Yeah,
so
still had to be on there.
Something, yeah.
But next up.
Oh, actually, should I talk about?
Yeah, you're talking about this.
Wait, I'm going to talk about the next two. Then you can talk about the 2-letter one. Okay. So Corpse Bride. I grew up watching this all the time. You watched it later when we got married.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoy Corpse Bride. I mean, we both do.
It is. It's a good one.
I don't know. I just like the story. I think as a I don't know. I think a lot of people equate Corpse Bride to Nightmare Before Christmas. There's certain aspects of Corpse Bride that I think I actually enjoy more than Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, Nightmare is just so much more classic, so we, you have to take that into consideration. But as a story, I love Corpse Bride. I love
it's very interesting.
And you're almost torn between the two, his real life bride and the Corpse Bride. And I just like, there's like this emotional aspect there that I've always loved when I was a kid. And yeah, I just think it's really, really well done. And it's spooky because it's like the, life after death type of stuff. And yeah, I just enjoy it. And I think Johnny Depp does a great job, feeling so like timid and shy. as the main character, and then I believe it's Helena Bonham Carter for
Oh yeah,
the actual
I think
corpse, who's so great as well.
Yeah.
So
It's a good movie.
great movie. I love it. It just makes me feel those Halloween vibes. And then so the next one, Harry Potter.
This is number 7 on our
10,
list.
9, 8, 7. Yeah, so 7. Almost like any of the Harry Potter films. I know that some of them have more of like a Christmas-y feel.
Which is so funny to me.
Yeah, I love it. It's so great.
I just feel like it fits kind of more in the Halloween.
You're dealing with the witches and the wizards.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I love the Harry Potter, Christmas stuff. And there's a couple of good songs that John Williams made, like that seems so like holiday and Harry Potter. Oh, so good. I love John Williams. But yeah, any one of these, honestly. I don't really know if we have a favorite.
There's
I guess like
no
Prisoner of
specific
Azkaban
one.
or like Goblet of Fire. Those ones we like to watch a lot, but sometimes I think just the first one for Halloween is great. Maybe even a couple, but yeah, Harry Potter, so awesome. We finally got to visit the Wizarding World at
So
Universal
cool.
during our previous trip, which, if you haven't seen that video, we talk about the differences between Universal and Disneyland and what we like best out of those two parks. So if you haven't listened, go check it out for sure. But there's nothing more to say. Harry Potter is like such
Everybody
a great
knows.
franchise, and it's one that definitely is on our list. But do you want to hit it up with the next one?
Yep, number 6. We are definitely gonna have E.T. on the list. I grew up watching this one for sure. This was definitely maybe not like a favorite growing up, but I've always loved E.T. Like, I think I used to watch it at my grandparents' house sometimes, so I have like a lot of nostalgia tied to it. And it's just such a classic. I mean, another one that's not even really like a Halloween movie, but I know that it's Halloween at one point in the movie, so it just feels like it's a Halloween movie to me.
For sure.
It counts. And it's about a cute alien. It's just such a classic. Also very, horrible animation. E.T. definitely does not look real, but it's just a great movie. I love it.
He's like a suit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess
like
he is,
there.
huh? So not animation, whatever. It doesn't look real, but it's it's still such a good movie. And like seeing baby Drew Barrymore is like the best ever. I love it. She's like so tiny in that movie, and it's so fun to see that. And all the kids in that movie just have great acting, I feel like, for how young they were.
Yeah. And the thing about just like Amblin Entertainment, like, overall, I mean, huge impact on, so many movies that had that similar feel. And then also you get like Stranger Things that has just drawn inspiration from that. But like so many of I just love the whole like sci-fi kind of like thriller. I wouldn't call E.T. a thriller, but like sci-fi type movie with kids involved. I love anything that's like that now. And so I think a lot of it's thanks to E.T.
I think
that
so
gave
too.
us that like kind
big
of
inspiration,
heartwarming sci-fi feel. So yeah.
Yep, had to be
Shout
on the
out
list.
To E.T. And I think, do you want to get the next one, and then I could talk about?
Yeah, I will.
Number 5, right?
This one we watched last week, and it's not a Halloween movie.
This is good because we could watch it with like.
Yeah, we watched it with our son, and I think he watched it with us last year, but he was really, really little at the time, and I don't think he really was really that interested in movies at the time. But we watched Coco this year with him just this last week, and it was the day that we like went to the pumpkin patch and got our pumpkin, and we were kind of like having apple cider and just kind of in the fall zone. So it was just really fun. We watched Coco, and he loved it this time around. He was like very into it the whole time we watched it. So Coco had to be on the list. It's, it's more Dia de Muertos, not as much Halloween, but they both fall around the same time. So it just feels like it fits. And it's just, you all know how I feel about this movie. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Skeletons, death, all the, all that stuff. It just fits. And it's a great movie.
Shout out to Disney for really helping. I've heard about Dia de Muertos, as I was growing up. And the fact that in a movie you could just have such a bigger understanding of a cultural holiday that you wouldn't before. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize all this stuff.
Seriously.
Loved it. I mean, that was perfection.
Every time I heard like Day of the Dead, it just sounded so like spooky to me.
It just sounded like another Halloween.
I was just like, oh, it's just like a scary like holiday that's around Halloween. Like I had no idea. And watching Coco gave me such an appreciation for Day of the Dead. And that movie seriously is one of the best Pixar has ever done. I will say it hands down. I love that movie so much, and I bawl my eyes out every single time at the end. Every time. Best movie.
Great movie.
Okay.
So good. So next up, we have at number 4, Edward Scissorhands. And I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that a Christmas movie? Well, okay. Actually, okay.
I don't know if anyone could ever think that.
There's Christmas happens in the movie, and then there's snow, right? That's like the big thing is that there's like snow at the end of the movie because he's doing his thing on some ice sculptures. But yeah, we tend to watch because we have so many Christmas movies during Christmas time.
Oh yeah,
like way too many. It's like we can't fit Edward Scissorhands into that because we have too many, right? So
yeah,
Edward Scissorhands has kind of become a Halloween kind of movie just because it's Tim Burton.
Pretty much anything Tim Burton gets added to the list for Halloween.
And we just watched that one a couple of days ago, but gotta love Johnny and then also Winona. I was gonna say Joyce.
My gosh.
Winona,
also
writer,
Joyce.
So amazing.
Yes, their chemistry in that movie is so good. And we were both just reminiscing on the fact that they actually dated in real life.
I know.
And I was like, oh, they were like destined. Like, if anyone agrees with me on this, Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder should just be married. I wish that they would get back together. I would be so happy. It would be like full circle back to Edward Scissorhands days.
And then they could do an Edward Scissorhands too.
Yeah.
Which would be really strange.
And then it would end happier than it did in the first one.
Maybe. Just making ice sculptures all the time. But yeah, so that definitely is on our list because it's like probably one of my favorite, although there are a couple more, Tim Burton films. I love that he can keep his eeriness and just kind of like quirkiness, but he made everything so bright and colorful in the town. So you kind of see a different side of Tim Burton with that. And I just think it's a fun take on a Tim Burton film. So
I think so too.
Timmy.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's definitely worked its way up into my favorites of Halloween movies.
Yeah.
For
so
sure.
Nice.
So next at number 3, we have Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
And maybe some of you would be disappointed that it's not at number 1. I'm sorry. We love this movie, but we also have kind of like a...
There's a certain part in the movie. Okay, wait. There's a certain part in the movie where we kind of...
I just kind
zone
of...
out.
Yes, like definitely the first like 15 minutes of the movie, I love.
15. Wow.
It's not that long of a movie, is it?
That's like
an hour?
15.
Okay, yeah, it's like fairly short. 15 to 20 minutes, I really like. And, you know, at some point, it just, I kind of get lost. I love the idea of this movie, and I love Haunted Mansion's take on, or I guess it would be flip-flopped. The Nightmare Before Christmas take on Haunted Mansion is so good, and just that whole, I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like we love the idea of Nightmare Before Christmas before like
the actual movie. Yes, like I love Jack Skellington.
Yeah, I love Jack Skellington. I love Sally.
Yes.
I'm not like the biggest Lock, Shock, and Barrel fan. Like. Yeah. They kind of scare. Maybe that's just because
don't love them. Don't love the duck guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, the duck guy, Dr. Finkelstein. Yeah. I do want to punch his face all the time.
Do hate him with like I want to passion.
Pull his lips out. I don't know. Like it's really.
He's just very unlikable. And
he's supposed to be unlikable.
Yes,
but yeah,
exactly.
I do want to.
Just the way they created him to look is so just like
pull his teeth out or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
But there's just certain we have this like roller coaster, like love a
That's
lot
what I
of
was trying to
scenes,
say.
but then kind of like zone out at some scenes, but then love some. And the thing is, we love it so much, and the reason why it's so high on our list
Music.
is because, it just makes us think about Disneyland.
Yeah, at this point, now that it is so integral to Halloween Disneyland, of course we love it. It's so good. And I love the Nightmare Before Christmas version so much of that ride. It's so, so good.
Yeah,
It's
and I
themed
love the
perfectly.
music. Yeah, Danny Elfman.
Yeah, the
killed
music.
it.
What's This is like every time it comes on around this time of year, I get so excited.
Yeah.
And just that whole scene of the movie is really great.
On the whole like Christmas blend. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I love
it's
the
great.
holiday, like the trees with the different holidays. Yeah.
It's
Some great stuff.
It is great. Yeah. It's just at a certain point, I'm kind of like not as into it. I'm
And
sorry.
then right near the end, I come back in. I'm like,
Yeah, we're gonna watch it. We haven't watched it. It's still one that we love to watch right around Halloween because it is such a Halloween
and it
movie
transitions to Christmas. So we usually try to watch it like the day
to us.
or
Like
two
on
before
Halloween. I feel like we always
Halloween.
watch it on Halloween.
Yeah,
that's
for
kind of
sure.
been a tradition. We actually a theater near us one year was playing it like in the theater, and I think we
On
went and
Halloween,
watched
yeah.
it on Halloween. So that was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
That was a fun experience. That brings us to our number 2 spot on our list, which is Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
And this is definitely a favorite. We watched number 2. We haven't even watched number 1 this year.
we
but-
got it. Yeah.
we have to
we'll
do.
fit
Wow,
it
we
in.
only have a limited amount of days left. The rest of
know.
this week, we have a lot of movies to watch. So
Yeah.
that's what we'll be doing the rest of the days leading up to Halloween. But yes, Hocus Pocus is definitely a staple in our Halloween watches. It's so good. I mean, it's
I think they just blend
it's
like
a perfect blend.
the spookiness to the comedy so well.
Yeah.
Love all 3 of the witches. I mean, there's so many lovable characters in that first film.
Yeah.
And the second one, we had a great time with it too. Obviously, not as good as the first.
Yeah.
The first just has something about
Something
it.
about it.
And I think that's the thing too, that Hocus Pocus was a Disney Halloween movie, but it wasn't a Disney Channel Halloween movie, which I believe Halloween Town was.
Yep,
So
there's
you
a
tell in
difference.
Halloween Town, you're like, oof, yikes.
That's
And
definitely
Hocus Pocus
lower
was
budget.
just like definitely so good. By the way, since we're talking about Hocus Pocus, if you want to know just history and facts about this movie, which is such a classic, go over to Make It Magical Pod because they did a whole episode about Hocus Pocus. And they bring up so many amazing facts that I didn't know about. And they
So
do
cool.
such a good job like breaking down the history of it. So definitely check that out if you're a Hocus Pocus fan.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep. They have a great show in general. So
we just love Emily and Clayton. For
Yeah.
Sure. They're
we're
great.
hopefully getting together soon because
Yeah.
we live like 10 minutes apart.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hocus Pocus, number 2, which leads us to number 1.
Yeah. So number 1 has this is one that has taken the first spot just because we love it so much. I mean, every year
You
that we
grew up
watch
with
it,
it.
yeah.
I did not as much at all. I was always like freaked out because I used to watch some other movie that had a commercial for this movie in it, and it always freaked me
good.
out when I was a little kid. And so I was always like, I'm never gonna watch that. And then I finally did, and now I love it. But
Yeah, so Beetlejuice. We love Beetlejuice. I mean, this has become
such a favorite.
yeah,
So
definitely like up there on the Tim Burton ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it comes back to the characters, and then it also comes back to the ending for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love the ending when they all just like live together.
Yeah.
And Winona Ryder again, Winona. And
Always
it ends
killing
with
it.
that Harry Belafonte song. Jumping
Those are
the
some
line.
of our favorite
There's just
Halloween songs to listen to.
Yeah, we always listen to Harry Belafonte because of Beetlejuice. But yeah, I mean, such a fun. I think it handles, I don't know, like this weird take on afterlife kind of thing, and you know the
Such
whole.
an interesting way.
Yeah, it's such an interesting way, and I think it's just really fun. definitely brings those spooky-ish vibes and kind of like the weirdness of Tim Burton in it. But it just ends so happy that it just has like, I don't know, it's just a cool.
It really has like every element it should for a good Halloween movie, I feel like. Yeah. It's really good. And I love so much Michael Keaton. I feel like.
Yeah. He went all in.
He was so good as Beetlejuice in that movie. And like, I didn't know that side of him at all until I saw that movie. I had seen him.
What was your first one? Your first Michael Keaton movie?
Not my first, but I used to love this movie called First Daughter. If anyone has ever seen that, let me know in the comments. But he plays like the president of the United States, and
so she goes from President Michael Keaton to to
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, this rotting corpse of a
But I think it just showcases his acting ability because he's also been like Batman, right? And he's been so many characters in so many movies, and he's just such a great actor. And I was like blown away watching him as Beetlejuice because I was like, who is this man? Yeah, but he's just so good. He's so creepy and just gross and stuff, but you just love him anyways. He's like, he's such a weird character.
Yeah, and it's so interesting seeing Alec Baldwin.
He was super young too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you could just tell. Yeah, because it was made years before we're even born. Yeah.
And what's the actress's name? I love her too. She's so.
I know.
Funny.
I love her. Is it? Gina Davis. Mm-hmm. She's so good in it.
She's so good. Yeah, so funny. Love her. Everybody's like just chemistry is so good in that movie. I just love it.
It's perfect.
It's so good. Fan.
Yeah. So that concludes our list of movies. Mainly the ones that we watch during Halloween time. If you are like us and don't like scary movies, but do have some Halloween movies that didn't make it on our list, definitely let us know because we're trying to expand what we watch around this time. I mean, Christmas is like, oh man, we watch so many Christmas movies.
My list could be
but Halloween,
a mile long.
Yeah, it's a little more short because we don't like jump scares. Movies, and
we need more suggestions. Babies. If you've got anything that won't like make us jump out of our seats, please let us know.
For sure.
Okay, so moving on from our favorite movies, we are going to talk about some costumes that have happened in the past between us. So we have been together as a couple dating since 2010. So that means that we have had a lot of Halloween costumes, 12 years worth. But rather than going through every single one of them, we're just going to talk about the more recent ones, which would be since we got married, which was 6 years ago. So we have some pretty good ones, I would say. And I think that Chris is going to put some pictures up for you guys to see in this list because I think we nailed a lot of these pretty good.
Pretty good.
We have to mention one, though, that was like almost our first Halloween together. It was like 2012, I think.
It's 2012. We started dating in 2010, but
it was like the most memorable of the beginning of our dating life. But our first like really, really good, memorable costume was Napoleon and Deb from Napoleon Dynamite. No. If you know that movie, we can be friends. So it has been around for a bit, and it is a cult classic that will always be a favorite for us. Yeah. Always. I could quote pretty much the entire movie. And I
also learned the whole dance.
He did. He learned the entire dance for our costume.
Yeah. Not that like anyone was gonna. I wanted to learn it just so that if someone was like, "Oh, you're Napoleon, like, can you do the dance?" I wanted to just like do a 3-minute example to be like, "Yeah, I went all in, man."
Yes, I am Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah. So that was a phenomenal costume. I remember.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. I went to. I was gonna say I went to the thrift store, but I think I actually just went to my grandma's closet.
Oh yeah.
And I picked out some clothes to be Deb. And it was great. It was I think we pulled it off. We looked pretty good.
I think we did. I didn't fully shave my face, which I should have. with a couple
Man,
of these
and this was
costumes.
like 17 or 18-year-old Chris, and you already had like a lot of facial hair.
I
It's
know,
crazy.
I know, crazy.
But
that was a
still,
good
it
costume.
was-
So I'll definitely try to get it on the YouTube video for sure.
It was so good. But after that,
After that, so our first year married, 2016. We actually our guest book at our wedding was an adventure book from Up. And then now it's filled with everyone's kind of names who went to our wedding and just their well wishes, along with some Polaroids over like the years of just our trips to Europe and Hawaii and all the other stuff
Lots
that
of
we've
travels.
done. Yeah, a lot of travel stuff. So that first year we had the book already. So we decided to be young Carl and Ellie. So I had a few balloons. I was dressed in like what he wore back then. I wish I had a little aviator helmet thing,
I know.
but you had the little overalls and the stuff, and we had the little grape soda pin.
that's right, we did.
Which
'cause we
I
had
forgot
used
where
it.
we even got that. Etsy probably. Yeah.
I think we had it at our wedding for something, didn't we?
Oh, maybe it was.
And so we just had it on hand anyways. I remember that this costume idea was kind of last minute because I think we were actually in Disneyland like the week before Halloween that year. And so we didn't have a lot of like prep time to get a costume ready.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we should have been prepping that long before that, but we didn't. So last minute, we were like, let's be Carl and Ellie. And we had to pull it together. So he looked really good, I think. I was kind of like iffy on the Ellie part, but we pulled it together.
Yeah, we pulled it together.
I think it worked out.
And this was at we went to a Stranger Things party this year, which was like insane.
so
And we
good.
actually hadn't watched.
I don't think we had watched the show
No, we
yet.
had just
Did it
started
come
watching
out?
it. I think we were like 2 episodes in, but we hadn't finished
The
whole
show
thing, so
itself was really new at the time, so we
Yeah.
like hadn't fully jumped on board yet, but
we were getting there.
we
yeah,
were
and
about to, and
awesome.
it was a really, really
That
cool party.
was the best. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Do you wanna go
So
with the next one?
yeah, in 2017 we were characters from the movie Baby Driver. So we were Baby and Deborah. If you haven't seen that
Our favorite
movie,
movie that
just
year.
watch it. It is like one of the best. It's like a heist, just super action packed, like funny in some parts. Just such a good movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much.
The
and
best
so,
thing about it is that everything is tied to music. So any action scene, any driving scene is actually like on beat with whatever song is being played. So almost a musical in a way, but
Yeah.
without singing.
it's
But
crazy.
like musical action, like action musical. Yeah, it's
Yes,
pretty.
if you
it's
watch
awesome.
it, remember what he just said and just notice how everything that happens goes to the music.
Goes to the
Everything does.
Yeah.
It's so cool, and I love that movie. And
I'm a drummer, so that like stuck out to me.
Yeah.
And the director was definitely intentionally going
Oh
for
my
that.
gosh.
But it was just such an easy watch because I was like, oh, everything's like synchronized. It was so perfect.
It's such a good movie. That was a really fun one.
Yeah, that was so fun. Next up, the year after 2018, we finally got to do something that I have been wanting to do for so long.
And it was actually my idea. I remember being like, why haven't we done this yet? And you were like,
I was like, oh yeah, instant. I think I had always wanted to, but I never wanted to bring it up because it was like,
it was his
I don't wanna-
thing.
yeah, it was my thing.
And then
but
I began loving
when you
it too.
brought it up, I was like, oh my gosh,
Like,
yes.
of course.
Yeah. So we were Jim and Pam from The Office. So
Yeah.
my favorite show, grew up watching it, met a couple of the cast members, been to the filming locations, like just a huge Office fan. And then when we started dating, she got into the show. And then so, yeah, we were Jim and Pam. And it was everything I could have ever wanted. It was just so perfect.
It was
so great.
pretty good. I think we looked a lot like them. That was
Yeah.
fun. It was fun to put that together.
For sure.
I'm so glad that we finally got
I
to
know.
live out your dream of being Jim and Pam.
Jim, I know. It was so awesome.
It was fun. That was a good
Super good time.
Halloween.
pretty easy costumes too.
And I think
So it was pretty
I was trying to remember
nice.
like what people we meet along the way that like know who we are, you know, because some people I feel like would be oblivious and not really notice, but I always feel like it's an accomplishment when like somebody
It
knows
was like, hey,
who your character
yeah.
is. So I think
So
we got a
good.
few of them.
We did, yeah. That's so great.
But next in 2019, this one was really fun, and we were Hopper and Joyce from Stranger Things.
Yes.
And that year I think it was season
I think it was
3.
season 3.
Yeah.
So it was the one where it was like the summer.
Yeah.
The
Where
summer
Hopper
festival.
wears that
Hopper
like
wears
button
that
up
sick
shirt
button-up
that everybody
shirt.
loves. Yeah, everybody knows Hopper that way, I feel like. So he got the same shirt, and he like shaved till he had just the stash, and like it looked so good.
Blood stains everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you pulled the great Joyce. That wig was perfect.
Yeah, I got her wig, or I don't even remember if it was like specifically a Joyce
Yeah, I think it was
wig,
just like
or if, I guess I just found like a wig that looked similar to her hair. But yeah, we looked pretty close to the same as them. I think that was really fun.
One.
That was a
so
good costume for sure.
Yeah. And then 2020, our first year with our son. That was when Mandalorian was. I forgot if Mandalorian was late 2019, like December of 2019. So everyone tried to be him the next year, but yeah. So did a Mandalorian one. So I was Mando. I was Din. He was Grogu. And
I was just Leia, because who else was I gonna be? Obviously, she wasn't in the show, but it just worked out.
Technically, Leia was still alive, during that time,
But
so she could
not
like with Din or anything.
Yeah, and
but
funny
this was 2020, so it was like we couldn't do anything, so we just kind of dressed up.
It was getting towards the end of 2020, and technically we had plans that day. I recall we were gonna go do something.
Oh, that's right.
And we were like driving there, and our son was like freaking out in the car. He was like 2 months old at this point. He was really little. And we were like, we're just going to go. We're going to go have fun and go out for Halloween. And it was like the middle of the day at that point, but he was just not having it. And we just dejectedly like turned the car around and went home. And it was really sad. And I don't even think we were dressed up at that point, because I think we were just going to go like wine tasting or something initially. And so we went home, and like we put on our costumes for literally like 5 minutes, long enough to take a photo, which you will be seeing if you're watching on YouTube. And our son was again not having it. He was really cranky the whole day. And so we changed out of our costumes. And that was our first Halloween as parents.
Then we did a little Halloween dance party.
We did. We did have a little thriller dance party. I recall. I have some video footage of that.
That was fun.
It was a good way to end the night, since the day was not.
It was a little
expected.
And then, do you want to do last year's? And then I guess we could talk a little bit about this year's real quick.
We have had our Instagram page since last year.
Yeah, so we actually have a photo
Happiest
of this
Hour
on the page,
has been a thing since this one. But if you didn't see it last year, we were, our son was Peter Pan, and we were the Lost Boys, a few of the Lost Boys. Which was really great. Fun. And we got together with some friends who were Hook and Wendy and Pixie Dust. That was fun. We had kind of like a whole Peter Pan crew. And
that one we actually like got to experience Halloween.
Yeah, it was fun.
2020. Yeah.
We didn't. I don't think. Yeah, we went to the fair. We didn't like trick or treat or anything. I think we just kind of went to the fair and hung out, because for some reason the fair last year in our area was not in the summer, because I think it was still like kind of COVID-y time. Yeah. Like I don't remember what was going on, but they postponed it, so it was in October instead of like June or July. So we had a little like fall fair, which was really fun to go to in our Halloween costumes.
Yeah, it was fun. I think our son looked.
He looked so good. He was adorable,
cute.
And his hair is kind of like a reddish color, so it just was like perfect for Peter Pan.
It was so fun. And then so this year, we
went back and forth. We had a few ideas, and then we finally, like, our son is at the age where we like asked his opinion, and of course his choice was to be Mickey. So Chance is gonna be Mickey Mouse. I'm gonna be Minnie Mouse, and
like
Chris,
old style.
Yes, kind of like the old school with like the little flower and the red hat and like blue dress and stuff. So be on the lookout for that post coming up. We'll have some photos up soon. And Chris over here is going to be
Walt Disney. So I'm gonna do the little slick back hair thing. Gonna just do a little mustache and a suit, and
it's gonna be great.
I feel like I should like gray dye my hair a little bit. Would that be fun?
You might be able to find some sort of like hair dye, like a.
I really want to
spray.
go all in. So so I'll be Walt Disney. We've had this idea for a little bit.
I feel like we always wanted to do something to have you be Walt Disney, but it was like, I'm not going to be Mickey. That's weird. Like, I'm too tall. It just didn't make sense. I'm like, well, we have a little guy now, and he can be Mickey, and he loves Mickey, so it's perfect. Yeah. And I'm just going to be Minnie.
So, I think it'll be really, really fun. So, hopefully the costumes turn out good. We have not tried them on. We have not finished them yet.
I have some work to do.
This is a Tuesday, and Halloween's in less than a week. So
we're going to have to pull that together.
Yeah, hopefully we'll pull it together. But we'll see. But really excited for you guys to check that out, whether it's good or bad. But should we go to our last segment here?
Yeah.
We're just going to quickly do a little Halloween this or that.
Yeah, just some fun little questions for each other. We just put this together a little while ago. We just wanted to end it on something fun. So,
ask me.
Okay. So our first question is going to be, in terms of Halloween candy, do you prefer sour or chocolate?
I love sour candy, but I've always chocolate's my thing.
Okay.
Like Reese's, Snickers. Oh yeah, we do all that stuff.
I feel you on the Reese's, but that is kind of where it ends in terms of like the favorite chocolate snacks for me. I'm all about sour candy.
Yeah.
Give me sour candy any day.
You've always been about that sour.
Always and forever. Sour belts, sour straws, Sour Patch Kids, like all those things.
That is tough. Those are so
Give them to me. It's my favorite.
Sour Skittles. Oh, I used to love those.
Those puckery, like really get you right there in the little jowls.
My teeth are getting a little zingy just thinking about it.
It's the best. It's my favorite.
Okay, so this or that. Buy a costume or make a costume?
Definitely make a costume.
Yeah.
I mean, we both have the same answer for that because we do the same thing.
The only time I think we've bought a costume was the Mando and Leia.
Oh, that's true, huh?
All the other ones were make a costume. Yeah. So it's just so much.
I just think it's more authentic. Yeah. I feel like you can easily buy stuff, but it just looks kind of like cookie cutter. Like you may run into someone else wearing the exact same thing. I just love to like get creative, and if I have the time and the patience, like create our own version of whatever characters we're choosing.
Yeah. Same here.
It's more fun that way. Haunted house or graveyard for you? Where would you prefer to be spending your Halloween evening?
Ooh. I like the idea of haunted houses a lot more, but I feel like there's more weight to that. Like I feel like that could be more like actually spooky than a graveyard.
Yeah, I think I would have to say a graveyard, even though that sounds like it should be scarier. I think haunted house, you're going in to get scared. Like there are going to be things jumping at you and trying to scare you.
Wait, but not like a real haunted house. They're not going to be doing that, right?
What do you mean a real haunted house? Like
just a mystery house.
If you're going into
like a maze, like a maze where people are gonna jump out at you.
I guess it depends what you're thinking of. Okay.
Like a oh shoot.
Would you rather walk into there? Okay. Preface for this: there is a house close to where we live that is very much abandoned. We actually did some research on this place because we've been so interested in it, and it has been vacant since was it the 70s?
Shoot.
Or something. I can't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
But it's been vacant for a lot of years, and it just looks so haunted and so creepy. And I'm terrified of going inside. I saw a cat outside of the house the other day.
It wasn't even a black cat.
But it just looks like it's been taken over by cats and who knows what else. So
who knows what else? We saw a cat. Could have been something else.
I don't know. There could have been other things that took over this house.
Yeah, okay.
And now those kinds of homes always make me think of Stranger Things because of the most recent season.
Oh my gosh.
So homes of that sort in any capacity just scare the life out of me. Would you rather be inside that house or be in a graveyard?
Okay. I've always wanted to go into this house because I want to know what's in there. I would rather do that in the day, but if it was nighttime, graveyard, because the house is
like you feel trapped.
Yeah, you're trapped. Yeah,
like in a graveyard,
outside,
like I can run.
Yeah, graveyard, I could run. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say graveyard. Yeah. So
I think we're on the same page.
Oof, man, that's so scary. Okay, so ghost or skeleton? Is this like decorations or just like what would you rather encounter?
Yeah. Maybe decorations. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm just gonna say decorations because I think I have placed definitely more skeletons around our house.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any ghosts. I have some bats, and a lot of skeletons. I'm about skeletons.
Yeah.
Makes me think of Pirates of the Caribbean.
It does, yeah. So I guess this is just a Pirates or Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I think I'm more on the skeleton side. Would I rather see a skeleton walking around or a ghost? I would probably say skeleton because it's like.
Hopefully, nice.
I don't know. I'm not really
I mean,
sure.
we're all skeletons, really, right?
Like
There's skeletons underneath all of us, so
yeah, we're all skeletons.
I guess it would be kind of weird to see just that walking around, but it would also just be like, oh, it's like a person, but not.
You got severely burned. Just kidding.
There's no skin left whatsoever.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, I guess skeleton for that question.
Okay.
Kind of
all right.
Ooh,
same answer, I suppose.
Oh no.
All right, last one.
This
This is kind of a rounding back to Disney a little bit.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't know if I have an answer for this or not, but do you choose Haunted Mansion original version or Nightmare Before Christmas version?
I've always
It's so hard.
Okay, wait.
I don't know.
I love the colorfulness of Nightmare, and I think it really depends on the season. Everyone,
I know,
and that's really tough. But I think, okay, if they're head to head, I think I might enjoy. Like it's more fun to be on Nightmare Before Christmas, but if it was like either or, like for all the time, you know, what would I rather? I guess I would rather have to go with the original, but I think I do enjoy Nightmares more because it's just more colorful. But yeah, I guess it depends on the question.
Yeah, it's what's hard for me is like the entire ride isn't changed with the Nightmare Before. Like there's certain aspects that remain the same from the original, so it feels like it's both the original and just like a little bit additional
extra
stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I feel like my mind could easily change tomorrow and I could say not this, but I think maybe the Nightmare Before Christmas version is my favorite.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't know. I love the theming of it. It does kind of keep me engaged a little bit more. Yeah. And like just Jack Skellington's just so good. And like I love being outside of Haunted Mansion and hearing the like ghostly like music box sound. Oh,
yeah, that is very special.
So good.
One thing you do lose, because there's a lot of things you gain with Nightmare, but then some things that you do lose the hitchhiking ghost. But then you see Oogie Boogie, right?
True.
Like, so, but the music is one thing.
Is Hatbox Ghost still in it?
Hatbox, yeah, definitely stays, yeah. And then you also get that gingerbread smell. So I think this one is one that it depends on what the actual question is, because I think it does change depending on that. But I'm not going to make a definite answer because I think I do.
It's too hard to choose.
There's certain times that I like Nightmare and certain times I like original.
Yeah. Because my overall like vibe right now is very spooky and Halloween. So I'm just I think that's my favorite. But like once Halloween's over, I might just be like, no, of course.
Once Christmas
original.
Is over.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's gotta be the original. I don't know. It can change in an instant. But
I can't. That's like the hardest question. And we would love to hear what you guys think on any of these, whether that's the Haunted Mansion versus Nightmare or just like your favorite Halloween movies. Definitely let us know. Let us know if you could handle those horror movies, because we've talked to some people. I know that Darling of Disney, oh my gosh, Ashley, she's a big like horror fan. And then who else was I? Oh, we were talking to Emily and Clayton from Make It Magical. She loves horror movies and Clayton can't stand them. So she watches them while he is, I guess, not in the room.
Well,
I don't know,
glad
maybe
that
hanging out with the cats. Yeah.
On the same page.
I know, yeah. If one of us were into Halloween or horror movies and one wasn't, I couldn't stand it.
One of us would be spending time upstairs while the other was downstairs. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. So, but let us know. Yeah, let us know like all of your favorite Halloween movies, all your favorite like Halloween traditions, maybe costumes that you've had in the past. We would love to hear your thoughts on this. But with that, I think that's pretty much it. Did you have anything to add?
I think that is pretty much it. Happy Halloween from the happiest hour on earth. We are going to be taking next week off for Halloween, and because it is actually my birthday a few days after that. So that week is going to be kind of chaotic. So we will be taking that week off. So we will see you guys the week after that, which will be mid-November-ish. So enjoy your Halloween, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you guys soon.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.